VR's version of the game Fortnite, Population 1, is going completely free to play on the Quest starting on March 9th. At the time of this free to play swap, it was down to $14.99. The game originally launched at $30 back in 2020. Although unfortunately on PC, so Steam or the Rift store, this will still cost, but it's going to go down from $30 to $20. Anyone who previously bought it on the Quest is going to get a bunch of points towards cosmetics they can get as compensation for having already paid for it. If you haven't heard of Population 1, it is very similar to a Fortnite, but in virtual reality. You squad up with your friends, you start out by a city on a wall where you can either glide off this wall or you can take a jet pod up into the air and try and figure out a strategic place to drop your squad in on the map to then find shields, weapons, all weapons that ranking between common and legendary. This game has some very unique VR specific mechanics. If you get hurt, you have to find a banana, peel that banana, and then eat it. If your friend gets downed, you have to get your paddles out, charge them up by hand, and then clear and zap them back to life. The game has building mechanics just like Fortnite, but it also has climbing and gliding mechanics. You can climb on anything in the map, including even a rock on the ground. You can just grab that, pull yourself down, and help to use that as cover, but you can climb the huge tower or build a huge tower and then glide off of that. Advanced players in the game can really use the gliding and shooting at the same time to be really effective. This game is well loved with very positive reviews on Steam, although recently they've become mixed, potentially due to this news coming out and people finding out the PC is not getting it for free, but also people saying that recently the lobbies have become even more filled up with squeakers and things, so something to consider if you're going to check this game out. I do personally love this game and highly recommend if you can get your own squad, your own group of friends in it to play. It is really cool to check out, but know that there are some people that are really good at this and it might be hard to catch up. Speaking of game reviews, Meta is working to clean up their reviews on their store. Now, if you read a lot of reviews on the MetaQuest store like I do, it's pretty obvious that a lot of them are now being used as ways to advertise Meta's app referral program. If you're not familiar with what that is, if you refer someone to a game you have already purchased, they get a 25% discount and you get $5 back in credit. I'll leave a link to a video up here if you're interested in learning how to do that, but not spamming them in the reviews after you've done it. Basically, the Meta store reviews have become a bit of a meme. There are people that are just writing ridiculous stories in them, like back when Bone Lab came out, all those weird reviews people were writing. There's people also, of course, advertising their discount code and trying to get people to click that helpful button to help rank that up to the top so they'll get the most credit back. And then you've even got people in there requesting refunds and giving bad reviews because they couldn't figure out how to get a refund, when if you've played less than 2 hours of a game, it's pretty easy to get a refund through the store. Meta's talking about finding ways to clean these up, like blocking specific types of URL links, although it feels like they should just block all links if they want to easily clean up the referral problem. Other websites and people are hoping maybe they make the refund process more easy and obvious to prevent those people from requesting a refund through the reviews, as that's a completely ineffective way of doing it. What do you think? Do you look at the reviews if you're going to buy a game? Do you trust the reviews? Do you look for the more in-depth ones? I know I personally ignore any of them that have a link in them at all, and I just read the other reviews outside of that. Something that could really be interesting to vloggers, VTubers, podcasters, or anyone looking to produce short films, there is a program coming from Flipside Studio, which is a full-featured virtual production studio. This is now free on Quest 2 and Meta's PC platform, so the Rift specific one, not on Steam. Like the most complex virtual production rooms you might have seen in VR Chat or even Rec Room, this not only has virtual sets, but you can configure the environments, there's props, even lighting, different cameras to help you control and capture the show however you want to, or you can set up multiple camera points. It seems to be loaded with tools, characters that you can of course customize, and it's actually been out in alpha on PCVR since 2018. They are working on a Steam version, but they have not said when it's expected to launch. But if you're on Quest 2, or even if you have a non-Oculus headset and you know how to use Revive to then get Rift games on to a different PCVR headset, this might be worth checking out if you're someone who wants to do some production. If you catch this video early, this weekend when this video comes out, Rec Room is putting on its first ever music festival with notable headliners like Tokyo Machine or Ethan Bortnick. Tokyo Machine might sound familiar to you if you're in VR a lot because they have a track on Beat Saber or their music from Rocket League. It's happening on March 11th and March 12th. There's virtual stages near a canyon, which actually sounds really interesting to me because there's a music festival that happens in a canyon not that far from where I'm at. I'll leave a link to the full schedule down in the description below if you're interested in checking this out. But of course, Rec Room, if you don't have it or you haven't tried already, it's not only available in VR now, it's available flat on just about everything, PlayStation 4 and 5, even Android and iPhones. Might be worth checking out, and you can always go in and just mute the people and just listen to the music, see what's happening, but I'm curious. I'm gonna try and get in this before the weekend ends. Quest owners may have a monthly Game Pass coming soon. Similar to the likes of Xbox Game Pass we've seen in the past, one person found found in a deep link URL this image right here that talks about how people who use the Quest Pass, like Guest Pass, get it? You would get up to 2 new apps or games every month with Project Apollo, as it seems to be codenamed. As long as you continue to keep the subscription, all of those games you got each month, you would be able to continue playing them. This doesn't mean you could get the pass and immediately play every game, but at 2 per month, in 3 to 4 months, you could have probably already picked some of the best titles on Quest and then be able to keep those. Now, this is early information found through a deep link, so we don't know for sure if this is going to happen. If it does happen, will it include every game, or will it not possibly be the most popular or the top selling games? And of course, when this would happen. If this does happen, this may be the second one, as Xbox Game Pass was already announced to be coming to Quest to be able to play virtually on a big flat screen, although that still hasn't happened yet either. So what do you think? A lot going on in the meta space, a lot going on in the VR space this week, and some exciting stuff. I think it's really cool to see that a lot's happening with VR again. There's a lot to talk about, and more people getting headsets, but of course a lot of people are kind of in that middle ground. They're waiting on the Quest 3, or some people are delving into PSVR 2 like I've been. What have you been up to in VR? I'd love to hear in the comments, but I want to say thank you again for coming out, taking us to 35, actually potentially 36,000 by the time this video drops. So thank you so much, and I will see you in another reality.